In the white and blue, the Carroll Chargers, the red jerseys, and the black piping for the Bishop Luers Knights. The tip, we are underway. Goes into the Knights' hands, and they're working from right to left on your radio dial. Here at the top of the key, here's A.L. Taylor. Works around the perimeter. This is the man running the court here tonight, Zen Safersky. Safersky hands it off. Working around the perimeter once again is Jaden Moore. Unable to penetrate inside. Here 20 seconds into this one. Nearly gives it away. Back to the top of the key for Safersky. Sophomore point guard driving in this time. Miles Herring works back out. A.L. Taylor, the pump fake, drives in this time on Fishers. Second chance, up and in. He's got it. And that's the first points of this evening. So 2-0 the Knights lead as we get this one underway. 40 seconds in. Man on the floor, Miles Herring for the Carroll Chargers. Get all 5 seniors on the floor. A couple of them not normal starters, but being in the lineup here today. Fisher at the top of the key. Going to hand this one off here to Cole Lambert. Cole Lambert driving in. He gives it away, and it's into the hands of A.L. Taylor. Senior shooting guard gets it over to Safersky, who brings it up. Thought about a three at the top of the key. Now slows it back down here for Jaden Moore. High pass back into the corner. 3-ball for Safersky. He launches and can't connect, but there's the offensive rebound. Carmine Davis with the basketball. Gives it back over to Nate Javens. Puts it up, no good. Gets it to his rebound. Back here to the corner. Another 3 by Davis, and again, just short. That is 4 missed field goals on 1 possession for Bishop Luers, and unable to convert off the offensive glass. Now the other end, Carroll here with Fisher, working it on Taylor at the left block, working himself inside, kicks into the corner, wide open 3, it's too much. That one will ring off. It looks like a chain right above the basket, and it'll be a dead ball. 3-ball that time by Dom Kefferl here at the near corner. A minute 40 in. 2-0 Luers in front here in this first quarter. A.L. Taylor, the matchup down low with Fisher. We'll see how he can deal with him. Back over to Safersky at the right wing. Now to Taylor just inside the 3-point line of the far block. Left wing this time. Jaden Moore still can't penetrate. That's been the big key for Copping. Has to have this group with the ball on the floor and drive in. Here's one of his best cutters. Carmine Davis drives in. A wild shot at the basket, and he gets the foul. They'll put the foul on the senior forward, Monsieur Omar, getting the start tonight. And Davis will head to the line. He's the leading scorer of this squad. 14.3 points per game. He's been averaging at least 10 in all but 3 of his games this season. First shot rings in and out, and is no good from the line. Coffey has had so much praise for him, pushing him more of a leader this season. He has gotten into that role. Super proud of him. Second shot, nothing but the stripe. And it is good. 3-0 Luers. Just over 2 minutes into this one. 5:55 and counting left to go in this first quarter. Miles Herring working on Carmine Davis, who's got aggressive defense in the backcourt. Finally finds it past the timeline. And now here for Fisher at the left wing. Thought about a 3 on Taylor. Works it back inside. Kicks it back out to Dominic Kefferl. Into the corner. Omar with a 3. He's got it. Monsieur Omar getting the start. Knocks it down from the corner. And Carroll on the board. Tied at 3 apiece. 5:30 left to go in this first quarter. Dump down low here for Jaden Moore. Thought about it. He's stripped. There's Omar on the other end. He'll work in transition. Gets it over this time to Cole Lambert, who slows it back down. Works now outside the perimeter. Back here for Omar. A bounce pass this time to Kefferl. Now inside. Fisher is fouled. Now trying to work him with some backside help. Nate Javens will get called with the foul. His first in case for Luers tonight. Inbound comes from the far side of the basket. Brought back in. Now over the far side for Dominic Kefferl. A big couple free throws last week. Now a forward pass in here to Miles Herring. Over the top of the key. This time Omar. Middleton down low here. Check that rather Lambert here to Fisher. Fisher driving in. Double team. Working on A.L. Taylor. And the ball will head out of bounds. Trying to put up a left-handed layup. Got a little bit of contact from Taylor, but no call. And they'll stay Carroll basketball. Under 5 minutes left to go in this first quarter. Inbound to the basketball will be Herring underneath the basket. Gets it over to Lambert. Cole Lambert, senior guard, played really well off the bench. 15 points against Norwell on Tuesday. Now to the other side for Kefferl. Omar drives in, now back out. High pass, nearly thrown away from Miles Herring. Here's Lambert with a 3. Nothing but nets. Pair of threes to begin this one. Here for a pair of seniors that normally don't start. Monzer Omar and Cole Lambert, the pair of threes. At 6-3, Carroll in front. Jaden Moore now the basketball. He's stripped away into the hands of Fisher. 3-on-2 the other way. Fisher stops his feet. Nearly traveled. Back over to Lambert. He wants another three. He's not going to miss. 3 for 3 from beyond the arc to get this one going for Carroll. Nearly 4 minutes into this first quarter, 9 through the Chargers lead. There's another forced turnover. Pickpocket there by Hearing. He goes all the way to the other end and lays it up and in. And that'll force a timeout for head coach in Seth Coffing. Tough adjustment there. 11 unanswered points for the Carroll Chargers. Will keep it here to get this one going. And Bishop Luers had some early chances. 3 unmissed shots early on in one possession alone. Couldn't knock it down. And Carroll from beyond the arc and a couple of big turnovers. They have been dominant. 11-3 they lead. 4:02 left to go in this first quarter. Seth Coffing has talked about it going into this week when facing a team like Carroll that's so much bigger, so much more physical, and so disciplined. What we saw right there is what they cannot have. 3 out of the last 4 possessions with turnovers. Got to bring it in. Right to left go the Knights out of the timeout. Safirsky brings it past the timeline. Safirsky double team. Now works on one. Gets it over to A.L. Taylor. A little bit of space. Now to the near side for Jaden Moore. Over the top of the key. Kermani Davis, a long 3. It rattles around the rim and drops out. Monzer Omar there with the defensive board. Brings it up. It's Cole Lambert. Still 5 on the floor. Same case for both sides. Omar on the far corner. Drives in. Pulls up. Doesn't think about it. Kicks it back over here to Fisher. Fisher driving in. Tough floater. It rings in. Charged in on Taylor in between the low and high post. Just flew one up. And he gets it to go. 10-point lead for Carroll. They lead 13-3 with 3:19 to go. A.L. Taylor backing down Fisher. A little pump fake. Spin move. Flips it up. And it's short off the front iron. Luers has not scored in the last 3.5 minutes after a 3-0 start. 13 straight points for Carroll. It's now Herring here at the right wing. Omar now down low to Fisher. Fisher found the move. Kicked it into the corner. Here for Lambert. Doesn't want the 3. Brings it back over top of the key. Kefrel now into the corner. Omar another triple. And finally, the first miss from beyond the arc for the Chargers. Back the other way. Safirsky working quickly. Now slows it back down. Davis in the corner. He wants a 3. And that one is good. Carmani Davis, 39% from beyond the arc. He has 73 more attempts from beyond the arc than anybody else on this team. And again, nearly 40% man from beyond the charity shrine. 2:30 left to go in this first quarter. It's a 7-point lead for Carroll as Fisher slowing it down to the top of the key for the Chargers. Now here it's Kefrel driving in, backing down Davis. Back to the top of the key. Now Fisher. 3 ball, no good. And again, it hits off that chain to call the play dead. It's a couple of chains that are holding up both of the baskets that are in play in the near side. And it's hit that already twice this evening. Couple of changes here for the Chargers. Omar will come out. Same case for Miles Herring. And they'll both have Carter Middleton as well as Jack Van Order checking into the ball game for the Chargers. 2 minutes left to go in this first quarter. 13-6 Carroll leads. Davis at the top of the key, working around the perimeter, working the pick and roll. Here to Cooper Chapin, who just checked in, and he is fouled going to the baskets. Cooper Chapin into the ball game. The junior center will head to the line. They also had one other change at the break. And they bring in Daniel Murphy, the senior guard, 3-sport athlete. They'll check in as well. First shot from the line, up and good from Chapin. 3-0 early for Luers, and 13 straight points, 3 straight threes for Carroll. And now unable to hit the second free throw is Chapin. It keeps it at a 6-point lead for the Chargers. 1:52 left to go in this first quarter. The 13-7 lead. This is Kefrel at the top of the key. Now bounce pass over to Fisher. Over to Middleton, who just checked in. Stopped his feet. Now handed back over to Van Order, who's been a great guy from beyond the arc. Now looks like a foul call. So whistle down low. It's going to be an off-ball foul on Cooper Chapin. That's going to be the tough one. 6'5", Chapin down low. We saw A.L. Taylor earlier at 6'4". Fisher, such a big body there for Carroll. On the inbound pass, come inside Cole. Lambert steps inside the three-point line, puts a shot up, and misses off the back iron. Back the other way goes Bishop Luers. Now here for Safersky. Safersky, handoff to Jaden Moore. Moore this time now to Camarni Davis. Being guarded there by Jack Van Orden. Another handoff around the perimeter here to Moore. Into the corner, Safersky. Another three ball, and he connects. Then Safersky's been great from beyond the arc as well. Nearly a 40% three-point shooter. And it's back to a one-possession game. 98 seconds left to go in this first quarter. Driving inside. There is Carl Middleton. He can't connect. And it goes back into the hands of Camarni Davis. Now to Safersky. Other three on the other side. And he's got it again. Zen Safersky with back-to-back threes. Both different sides of the perimeter. And we're back tied at 13. Under a minute left to go in this first quarter. 45 seconds and counting on the dot. As we have a tie ball game here at Carroll High School. Fisher the top of the key. This time going to slow things down for Cole Lambert. Stay in this game the entirety of this first quarter. Now for Jack Van Orden. He's been great from beyond the arc. Haven't set him up quite yet. Under 30 seconds left to go. This game's still tied in the first quarter. Here for Dominic Kefferle. Kefferle guarded by Jaden Moore. And they're just passing it back around, waiting for this final shots. So tapping one side or the other. Carter Middleton around the perimeter. Now to Van Orden. Found a guy down low. That's Fisher. Double team. Reverse layup. No good. Got his own rebound. 7 seconds left to go. Puts it up again. And he's fouled. It was a lot of work down low for the junior center, Cooper Chafin. A pair of players. He was mainly the only man down there. And Fisher did all the work himself, getting his own rebound. And with 6.2 seconds left to go, he'll go to the line for a shot from the stripe. And it's nothing but net. Fisher this season, 63% from the charity stripe. But he leads the conference, the SAC, in free throws made. 72 this season. 115 free throw attempts this year. That's 56 more than anybody else on this roster. Second shot up and no good. Final chance here for Bishop Luers. A long outlet pass is tipped off the hands of Jack Van Orden and heads out of bounds. 14-13, 1.9 left to go in the first quarter. Inbound pass here on the near side. Well, inbound over Camarni Davis. On a bounce. Puts up a three. He's got it at the buzzer. There was barely any arc on that shot for Camarni Davis. A straight laser to the basket. And Bishop Luers goes into the break on a 13-1 run and take a 16-14 lead. Second quarter action coming up next. Carroll and Bishop Luers on the Parkview Sports Medicine Game of the Week on 13 to the Fan and 100.9 FM. Back here at Carroll High School, 16-14, the guests lead Bishop Luers after a 13-0 run for the Carroll Chargers, a 13-1 run around to the first quarter. They lead 16-14. Out of the break, corner three on the near side by Carroll. That one missed off the back iron by Carl Middleton. Another offensive board for the Chargers. Nearly 20 seconds in to this second quarter. Fisher double team. Now the top of the key here for Jack Van Orden. Couple of tweens, works back out. And hands it back off to Carter Middleton. Pass over to the far side. This is Miles Harrington. Back here to Middleton. Near side Van Orden puts up a three. Again, too strong. And off the side of the iron. He's been the best man from beyond the arc. But 0 for 2 to get this one going today. Nate Javens with the basketball. That one's thrown away. How about an effort on the defensive end? Jack Van Orden able to get the basketball. Goes to the basket. But there is a charge. What an effort by Camarni Davis. Put up a Hail Mary three right before the end of the first quarter. He sets his feet on the other end. And in fact, they're going to call it a defensive foul. The referee underneath the basket pointed straight towards a charge. And now they're going to switch up the call. So in fact, it will be an and one for Jack Van Orden. Three players for Carroll were confused. Brody Fisher went straight back to his head coach and Chris Bennett, wondering how in the world that was a charge call, and realized that the other referee had called him off on the other side. And the free throw attempt no good by Van Orden. So tied at 16, minute in here to the second quarter. Far side, driving back in, Daniel Murphy takes it back over to Zen Safersky for the Knights. Again, they're working from right to left here in the second quarter. Nearly thrown away. Brought back in by Nate Jaden. Safersky down to Ale. Taylor working on the baseline, and he got some contact. Foul will be called. Number 51, Brody Fisher. That'll be his first of the evening. Money Davis, the leading scorer. Let's see if they can inbound it to him. Not going to be the case. They get it to Nate Javens after a quick screen. Javens nearly double dribble. Gets it back over. Here's Zensafersky, top of the key. Now works inside of the charity stripe. Bounce pass taken away on the other end. 2-on-2. Now a 3-on-2. Middleton back over the far side. Van Order, spin move. Little Euro step. Lays it up. And it's no good. And then on the other end, it's thrown away by the Luers Knights. Nate Javens got a handle to it. Was trying to work an outlet pass down to Zensafersky. Was wide open past the half-court line. And he tripped and threw it away. So stays Carroll basketball. They work from left to right. Tied at 16, a minute and a half in to this second quarter in the Parkview Sports Medicine Game of the Week. Miles Herring works around the perimeter, slowing it down for Middleton. Back over here to Van Order, still looking for his first three ball tonight. Down low here for Kefro, backing in, working on a defender in Javens. Puts the right hand layup up and no good. And back into the hands of Javens, who is fouled. The foul will go on Kieferl, a senior forward. He's been great on the defensive end this season. Had a couple of big free throws down the stretch in their win over Homestead last week. 2 seconds left to go. Knocked down a pair and won it on the road out of the Spartan Arena. Top of the key, Zensafersky nearly gave it away. Heck of a defensive effort right now by Jack Van Order. They work off the screen. Now inside, pick and roll. A.L. Taylor lays it up, rings around the net, and just drops out. That was a toilet bowl if ever seen one from A.L. Taylor. Nearly able to bring it home. Fisher on the other end. Works the defensive side for Taylor. Good kick back here to the corner. Right side driving in his Herring on the baseline. Tough pass. Now to the top of the key. Thrown away. 3-on-1 to the other side. A.L. Taylor Euro step. And he's fouled. And Taylor was hustling to the basket. And talking about a guy with some size as he'll head to the line to shoot a pair. Senior shooting guard, 6'4", 215 pounds. And you look at him and he looks truthfully like a defensive end or a linebacker in football. That's what he plays across the fall season. That was a big thing for head coach Seth Coffin, getting him to basketball shape. First shot from the line. It is good. The Luers takes the lead. First time since they were up 3-0 to begin this ball game. They continue their run back. A quick check in as Daniel Murphy will check out. Jaden Moore checks in. Second shot. It's up and good by Taylor. And now some defensive press here by Luers. They quickly recede as bringing it past the timeline is Jack Van Order. 5:30 left to go in this second quarter. 2-point lead. 18-16 for Luers. Into the ball game is Lincoln Powell after that timeout. Works around a couple of defenders. Kicks over the right wing. Miles Herring with a three ball. And it's no good off the back iron. Ball flailing around in the far corner. Zensafersky landed on it with Fishers. And it looks like they're going to call a jump ball. Possession arrow heading the Knights' way. Luers again in this first half, working from right to left. We'll give him a little bit extra step towards the timeline. As Jaden Moore will inbound it to Zensafersky. 18-16, 5 minutes left to go in this first half. Zensafersky double team, back over to Kamani Davis. He's got an angle, puts up a three, no good. Back into the hands of Zensafersky after a tip, hands it over to Taylor. Good looking feed, and he lays it up and in. Bishop Luers with a 4-point lead. Under 5 minutes left to go in this first half. Lincoln Powell, the junior guard, hands it back over to Van Order. He's still not had a shot tonight. Has fallen through. He drives in, and he's fouled before putting up a basket. A foul will go on the sophomore point guard for the Knights in Zensafersky. One change here for Carroll. Miles Herring will check out. Cole Lamberts is in great from beyond the arc. Checks back in for the Chargers. Now 3 fouls for Carroll in this first half. A pair for Luers. Powell to inbound it, far inbound. Nearly goes the timeline for Lambert. And now pass back one over here to Lambert again. Good defense by Kermani Davis works on him. Munzer Omar checking the ball game. Pulls up from the right elbow, and he's got it. Munzer Omar, how about a night? An early 5 points. She's the starter. Finally came back in after 5 minutes on the bench. Zensafersky, couple of good moves. Little Euro step, lays it up, and it's just short And he gets the foul. That is a nifty move by Zensaferski. Stepped back a couple, drove in, got past two defenders, and now we'll head to the line. Zensaferski, 73% from the charity stripe, and he hits on the first. And he's been great. Averaged a pair of steals a night. Coach Coffin talked about it. A freshman that came off the bench sometimes would start late last season has moved into a lot bigger of a role after they lost 6 seniors a year ago, including their top 3 starters. Second shot up and good. 22-18. Bishop Luers leading here in the second quarter with 4:20 left to go on the Carroll Chargers. Middleton dealing with some tough defense right now. Bound back at the top of the key for Jack Van Order. He works in. Back over to Omar. Omar top of the key. Tough chance right now here for the Chargers to drive in. Van Order going to try to do so. Spin move. Pulls around right inside the left elbow. And he misses. Rang off the back iron. Now to the hands of Jaden Moore. He really threw it away. He gets it back over to Zensaferski. Zensaferski the top of the key. Back far side to A.L. Taylor. Pump fake drives in on Fisher. And a travel call. Lost the basketball. He thought he had contact from Fisher. It seems like Bishop Luers fans in attendance thought the same thing. So Taylor gives it away. And the Chargers will see what they can do out of the turnover. 22-18, Bishop Luers in front. 3:42 left to go in this first half. Top of the key for Jack Van Order. Out of the right wing for Lincoln Powell. He has a good stint here. Drives in, pulls up, and is fouled from behind. Good move by Powell. A little hezzy. Got around his screen. And right inside the right elbow. Put him a shot. Now go to the line to shoot a pair. Powell, the junior guard, 5'7". It's the first. And one quick change. Fouls on Carmani Davis, who will check out. And the sophomore for Nate Javens will check into the ball game. Which about Carmani Davis, how much Seth Coffing is pushed with him. Same case for Javens as well. Second shot up and good. It's back to a one-possession game. 22-20. Knights in front of Carroll with 3:28 left to go. Zensaferski driving inside. Hands it back over to Nate Javens underneath the basket. Hands it back over this time to A.L. Taylor. Pass back outside. Jaden Moore puts up a left wing 3. And again, it's too strong. So off the back iron. And Bishop Luers quiet here in the final 7 minutes of this one. Lincoln Powell doesn't want the 3. Drives in after getting Nate Javens up on his feet, but he's pickpocketed. Zensaferski got a hand to it. Hand back up on the other end of transition. And A.L. Taylor will head to the line after some contact. I'll put the foul on Brody Fisher. That'll already be his second of the evening. And he very likely may come out of this ball game. 3 points already, 2 fouls. Everybody in the starting 5 for Carroll already has 1 foul tonight. 5 in this first half for the group. Taylor at the line, and he'll shoot 2. Her shot, no good, as it rings in and out. Carter Middleton will check in. Lincoln Powell comes out. We'll also see Miles Herring back into the ball game for some size down low as Brody Fisher heads out of the ball game himself. Taylor, a couple of big nights this year. Began the season with 12 straight games, at least 10 points. Unable to hit the second. 0 for 2 trip from the line for Taylor. Tough break with another 3 minutes left to go in the half. 22-20. Bishop Luers in front. Middleton will run the point. Nearly lost it. Brings it back into himself. Hands it back over to Omar. Barely able to get past the timeline before the call across the nets. Now to the near side. Herring driving in on Taylor. And a foul down low. Seth Coffey unhappy with it. Taylor looks like he had his left elbow pushed in on Herring. Couldn't stop his feet. And the foul will be on him. Inbound to the near side underneath the basket. Middleton over to Herring at the top of the key. Now Lambert thought about a 3. Drives in. A little bit of contact. Now back over to Herring. Van Order. Extra pass into the corner for Middleton. That rings true. Always want the extra pass. Carroll takes it. And they lead back by 1. Top of the key. Work back here for Jaden Moore. Now to Nate Javens. Javens pounding right now by Van Order. Drives in, found the angle, puts up a floater, and it's off the back iron, too strong. Now to Jack Van Order. Near side for Middleton. Over 2 minutes left to go in this first half. Good pass in the corner. Another three ball. It's just short. Middleton unable to go 2 for 2. And now Safersky the other way. Brought his man now to the near side. Three ball by Javens. And again, just short. Javens, 3 3-point attempts tonight. They've all been just a tad short here in this near corner. Middleton, hands back off. This time Lambert. Now Omar. Omar working in Van Order. Works off a couple of defenders. Drives in. Lays it up high off the glass. And it rolls through. Van Order a solid second quarter. And Carroll back with a lead by 3. Driving it on the other end. Jaden Moore unable to get it to go. And he's fouled after the offensive rebound. He gets right back up and looks straight into the eyes of Cole Amberts. Moore was not happy. Picked up the basketball after the rebound. Lambert with the basketball slightly in his hands as well. Ripped over the top shoulder of Jaden Moore, who is thrown to the ground. And Moore took exception to it. And it looks like we're going to have a conversation here, at least, and see what that was all about. Another Carroll player also looks like a slight cut on his wrist. That was Jack Van Order. They're going to bring everybody back near their benches. And it looks like Van Order is going to fully check out as well. Trying to make sure everything is set. One for Van Order, who has a little bit of blood as well on the side of his jersey. 25-22 Carroll in front. 1:22 left to go in this first half. And a lot of changes for Bishop Luers and company. Jaden Taylor will come out. Nate Javens will come out as well. You see the first time tonight, Ashante Jones into the ball game. And in the backcourt, they'll bring in number 12, Daniel Murphy once again. So Jaden Moore here will shoot 2. And he hits the first. One more change. Looking Powell looks to check in here as Jack Van Order is going to head back to the locker room. It had a slight cut. Didn't seem like it was bothering him too much, but there was a little bit of blood on the floor. Same case on his jersey. Powell will check in. And second shot here for Moore. And it's up and true. And it's a 1-point ball game. 25-24. Carroll in front. A minute 20 left to go in this first half. Bishop Luers now will work in his zone as Powell brings it past the half-court line. Now to Middleton at the right wing. Back to Powell, top of the key. 80 seconds left to go. Now back over around the perimeter. Carroll moves it. Herring into the corner for Omar. Doesn't want the 3. And Carroll may keep moving this basketball as long as they can around the perimeter. Back to one side. Now inside here for Omar. Powell, the top of the key. Under a minute left to go. Driving in here is Kefrel. Kicks into the corner. Extra pass left and right. Powell drives in at the charity stripe. Puts up a shot. And it clangs off the right iron. A long possession. And for Carroll. And now Safersky drives in. Able to stop his feet, but he throws it away. Trying to have a backdoor cut. Monzer Omar was there for the steal. Under 30 seconds left to go. 25-24 here in this first half. Carroll in front. So the Chargers want to wait for this final shot like they tried to do in the first quarter. Didn't end up working out. And Bishop Luers with 1.9 seconds left to go. Got a 3-ball from Kamani Davis to take the lead into the half. Davis not even on the floor right now. No points in the second quarter. Far corner, 3-ball, 6 seconds left to go. No good there by Middleton. Brought back down by Jaden Moore. He drives forward and is fouled. A tough and odd foul right there by Monzer Omar. And that's going to send Jaden Moore to the line. 3.4 seconds left to go in this first half. And Luers again could get bailed out to take a lead heading into the half. First shot, rings in and out. Maybe one final chance for Carroll, but one final shot heading into the break. Trying to tie this one up, heading into halftime. Second shot is up, rings around the basket, and is good. 25-25. One final chance. Lincoln Powell past the half court line, puts up a three, and he misses. Trying to ring things out with one final bang, unable to do so. And we head into the break, tied at 25. Carroll had the good start to the second quarter. Luers stuck around, and we head to the break, even at 25 apiece. Much more fun action, more coming up next. Divisioners Corner and a whole lot more around the state of Indiana and the final day of regular season boys basketball. Even at 25, Bishop Luers and Carroll here at Carroll High School is the Parkview Sports Medicine Game of the Week. Halftime coverage here at 13 to the Fan and 100.9 FM. Tied out of the break, 25-25 in this regular season finale for the Carroll Chargers and the Bishop Luers Knights. It's been a good one back and forth. These two teams have gone. Get ready for this second half. Carroll with the basketball. They'll move from right to left on your radio dial. Back in their home whites with the blue and gray piping. Bishop Luers with the red jerseys and black piping as well. Brody Fisher gets his going. Good feet inside. He lays it up and in for a second made shot of the day. Frustrating first half for him. A couple of fouls, a couple of missed shots, but now 5 points for the senior forward. 27-25, 30 seconds in to the second half. Safersky, great feed down low. Carmani Davis, who comes into the ball game out of the break. A beautiful reverse layup, and he ties it back at 27 apiece. Davis now leading all scorers, 9 points tonight. First man closer to double figures. Fisher moving inside. Now couple passes, works over to Kefferle. Kefferle at the right wing, drives inside, kick back here to the near corner. Middleton with the three ball. That's airballed. After a 2-for-2 start from beyond the arc. Missed his last couple. Another good feed by Safersky. This time to Nate Javins. Puts one up, misses it, makes his own rebound, and he misses the second chance as well. Mid into this third quarter. Jaden Taylor, glad to have you with us. Carroll taking on Bishop Luers here in the senior night matchup for the Chargers. Good feed from Fisher. Pump fake, put it back up for Kefferle, and he misses. A wide open basket after Taylor was up in the air, and he couldn't finish. Safersky, beautiful spin move on the other end. Little shimmy shake, and it kisses it off the glass and in. Luers with a 29-27 lead. Man, Zen Safersky, a shifty sophomore that's looked really good thus far on this one. Kefferle, Carroll stops his feet over to Fisher. Thought about a three, doesn't want it. Hasn't shot a lot of them here this year. Middleton drives in, stops his feet, faked his shot, got a man to his feet. He lays it up, no good. Now back on the other end, Safersky. Couple of tough moves. Drives in on Middleton. Can't find an angle. Now he does. Works underneath the basket. Another reverse layup. And Zen Safersky now into double figures. He's now got 12 points here this evening. And him and Carmani Davis for Luers, who leads by 4. 5:50 left to go in this third quarter. And the top of the key. Good pass now. Lambert drives into the left lane. High off the glass. No good. Offensive rebound by Kefferle. And he puts it back up and in. Good second chance there for Dominic Kefferle. Another senior. Brings it back within 2. Zen Safersky. Another good pass inside. Carmani Davis unable to grab onto it. Jack Van Order poked it out of bounds. Davis will inbound it. One change for Carroll. That's in. Will come out of the ball game. And they'll bring in another man down low. This one inbound over to Ale. Taylor got Fisher on his feet, and he lays it up and in. Miles Herring is the man who just checked into the ball game for Carroll. And he brings it past half court. 33-29, Bishop Luers with the lead. Fisher backing down Taylor. Off the glass, found the ankle, and he gets it to go. Back to a one-possession game. Carroll trailing 33-31 with 5 minutes left to go. Here in this third quarter, Safersky drives in, now dribbles to his right, puts up a shot, and it's off the back iron. Nearly a 17-footer, couldn't get it to go. And now on the other end here for Lambert. Lambert, 5'10" senior guard, gets it back over to his other senior teammate in Miles Herring. Herring, top of the key. This time Kefferle. Kefferle didn't want it at the right elbow. Couple passes now here to the near corner for Lambert. Lambert to Fisher. Fisher found an open man. Pass, push Van Order into the corner. Had to reset. Good pass back over to Herring. Three ball at the right wing. And it's off the front of the iron. Back the other way. Carmani Davis, a long three. And he misses once again. These two teams trading three-point attempts, but neither have been able to hit. Van Order looking to slow things down with 4:16 left to go in the third. Pass now here to Fisher inside of the right block. Good feed. Middleton blocked from behind, but he gets his own rebound back. Kieferl drives in on Jaden Moore, lays it up, and he gets the whistle. Doesn't quite get the basket. Headed at the line to shoot a pair. 33-31. Bishop Luers in front here in this second half. Kieferl at the stripe. And he hits the first. He's been great at the charity stripe thus far this season. And hoping to hit another pair and tie this ball game back up. One change. Jaden Moore will check out of the ball game. And Daniel Murphy, the senior guard for Bishop Luers, will check in. Munzer Omar also in the ball game for Carroll. Second shot off the back iron. And no good. Luers still holds on to a 1-point lead halfway into this third quarter. 4 minutes ticking further and further away in this one. Safersky at the left elbow. Now here to the far side for Murphy. Murphy going to slowly work it around the perimeter. Hand it back over to Safersky, working on Omar. Doesn't get the screen from Taylor. He'll take it, drives in. Good pass down low. Javens right behind the back of Fisher. Over to Taylor. He lays it up. No good. Offensive rebound goes poking into the hands of Murphy, but he gives it away. Now Omar driving in, and he gets some contact at the charity stripe from Zen Safersky. Omar drove in towards the left lane, cut over to his right. Safersky just met him right at his chest. So after the foul, inbound comes from underneath the basket. Goes over to Jack Van Order at the top of the key. Van Order, pass back over to Herring. Now Kieferl inside, now back out to Omar. Bishop Luers works back into the zone. Far side, Van Order. Omar near side, good feed in down low at the left block. Fisher stripped from behind. Javens got a hand to it. Fisher picked it back up. Now to the hands of Omar. 3 minutes left to go in this third quarter. Herring down low. Good dink and dunk. And there is Fisher who lays it up and in. Some good passes down low by Carroll. We talked about it. Such a fundamentally sound team. And they find their man anytime they need him. A.L. Taylor driving it on Fisher. Lays it up and the foul. Lowers the lead back. Taylor gets a big high five from Zen Safersky. Grabs another from Carmani Davis as he heads to the line. That was big. Showed the body down low. Drove in on Fisher. Got the contact and the lay. And Luers, at least at the moment, a 1-point lead. They'll look to make it 2 here. One man checks in. Tavon Stidham's into the ball game for Luers. Stidhams, Davis, Taylor, as well as Murphy and Safersky. Second shot. And A.L. Taylor able to drop it down to convert the 3-point play. Fisher will come out after the foul. That's already his third. And the ball game. Short lineup now for Carroll. Lincoln Powell checks in. Taylor going to check out himself to get a breather as Cooper Chafin checks in. 2:45 left to go in the third. 36-34 the road squad. Bishop Luers in front. Carroll working from right to left again in this second half. Omar, top of the key, trying to find somebody. Still stops his feet. Finally gets over to Powell. Working on Safersky. Nearly poked it away. Back into the hands of Powell. Omar, far side, driving baseline. Trying to find something. Can't find a pass. Finally gets it off and delivers it to Jack Van Order. Van Order drives in. Thought about a pump fake. Won't get it. And now to Powell. And no shot clock here in Indiana High School basketball. And Carroll's had some long possessions here today. Sometimes as long as a minute and a half. Far side Powell. He drives in on Safersky. Does he get the angle? No, he can't. Now over to Herring. Working on Chafin. He drives in. Spin move. Works around him. Off the glass and in. Plus the foul. What an effort down low. And Dominic Kieferl will go to the line to get the N1. Cooper Chafin had to come into the game. A tough chase out of there for A.L. Taylor. Now Dominic Kieferl able to make the 3-point play. So Carroll back to the lead, 37-36, 1:52 left to go. Here in this third quarter, Safersky brings it up, and it looks like an off-ball foul. And Lincoln Powell trying to get a hand in front of Carmani Davis. He's going to get called with the infraction. So now the foul inbound going to come in underneath the baseline. Safersky gets it in, Chafin at the right elbow. Back over here this time, Stidhams into the ball game. Long outlet pass over here to Safersky. At the top of the key, drives in, doesn't want it. Try to pass it over to Davis. Nearly gave it away. Poked back into his hands. Now into the hands of Davis at the left wing. He's got the 3 ball. Another triple for Luers. And their lead back to 2, 39-37, 1:22 left to go in this third quarter. Here's Kiefer, now to Omar, the top of the key. Jack Van Order works around the screen. Now working on Chafin. Couple of switch here, double team. Puts up a shot at the extended elbow, and the jumper is good. 39-39. Near the 60-second mark left to go in this third quarter. Carmani Davis works around the screen. Chafin gets the pass inside, but an off-ball foul. The shot not going to count. He drove in. And the foul will be on number 25, Dominic Kiefer, right after his big and one. Inbounding it will be off the foot of Jack Van Order. Another kick. Heads out of bounds. We're right here to the near side of the end line, right in front of the Bishop Luers bench. Inbounding it is Davis. Gets it over to Daniel Murphy. Murphy over to Safersky. Now here to Stidhams. Davis working around a defender, trying to find his way inside. Won't get it. Backs it back over to Safersky. Puts up a 3. It drops in. Back to 3-pointers for the Knights, and they lead by as many. 42-39, 33 left to go here in this third quarter. Munzer Omar. Bounce pass over to Kiefer. Working on Chafin. Will he drive in? No, not this time. Hands it over to Miles Herring. Working on Stidham. Down to the far top of the key for Van Order. Powell now. 15 seconds left to go. Carroll looking for possibly the final shot in this third quarter. Powell double team. Nearly gave it away. Stripped up. Got it back into his hands. Bishop Luers wanted to travel into the corner. Herring. 3 ball no good. Gets his own rebound. Floats up right before the buzzer. And it's no good. A wild final possession of this third quarter. But Luers heads into the final 8 minutes leading by 3. 42-39, they lead. It's been Zen Safersky and Carmani Davis today. Safersky, the sophomore point guard, 15 points, leading all scores. 3-point game heading to the final quarter of this one. This is the Parkview Sports Medicine Game of the Week on 13 to the Fan and 100.9 FM. Final 8 minutes of this one here on the Parkview Sports Medicine Game of the Week. Bishop Luers in the final quarter up by 3, 42-39. Quickly out of the break, Carmani Davis is fouled. Shot put up by Jaden Moore off the mark. Davis got down with the rebound and was quickly pushed near the baseline. He inbounds it from the baseline, gets over to Moore at the far corner. Moore working here on Fisher to check back into the ballgame. Fisher already 3 fouls, unable to stay aggressive defensively, and Moore got around him, laid it up and in. 5-point lead for Luers, 44-39. 30 seconds into this fourth quarter. Here's Kiefer, top of the key, doesn't want to drive in. Gets it back over to Middleton, now inside at the right block. Here's Fisher backing down Taylor, also just checked in. He shows up the aggressiveness, and he puts it back up and in. Once again, above 10 points tonight in double figures is Fisher. 11 points in the early going. Minute into this fourth quarter. 3-point lead for Luers. Into the corner, Davis works around the perimeter, now drives in, found the angle, works around a defender, lays it up, no good. Taylor there's with the offensive board. Second chance, no good. Here's the third chance, can't get it there, but another offensive rebound. Taylor finally puts a wild one up in the air, and he can't hit. 4 straight missed shots for Luers on that possession. Now on the other end, Fisher double team at the right block, drives in, floats one up, no good, tries to throw it off a defender, and he does so. Both of these teams have had a tough time finishing underneath the basket, but Fisher does a great job, throws it off of the defender and Daniel Murphy. They keep it Carroll basketball. They inbound underneath the basket. Fisher gets the hand back to it inside the three-point line at the right wing. Here's Middleton. Now to Van Order. Back to Middleton. Middleton inside. Here's Kieferl. Kieferl double team. Good feed to Fisher. He found some space on Taylor. Lays up the right side. And it's good. Carroll will take a timeout. They're back down by 1. 44-43. As Carroll takes a timeout. The Parkview Sports Medicine Game of the Week on 13 to the Fan and 100.9 FM. 44-43. Bishop Luers, a 2A squad in their regular season and SAC finale, taking on the Carroll Chargers, leading by 1. 6:22 left to go in this fourth and final quarter from Carroll High School. Jaden Taylor, glad to have you with us here tonight. Parkview Sports Medicine Game of the Week. Luers working from left to right. They've got their leading scorer of the evening and in this entire game, Zen Safersky, bringing it past the timeline. He works on Carter Middleton. Works around a screen from Ale Taylor. Pulls up just outside the right elbow, and he connects. Mid-range is where Zen Safersky has found his rhythm. 17 points on the night for the sophomore. Just 2 points away from his season high. Fisher at the top of the key. He's in double figures again tonight. Far pass here to the near side for Van Order. Van Order in the corner. Double teams he drive in. Back over to Fisher. He wants a three, and he won't get it. But there's another offensive board. Kieferl with the board. Drives into the basket, and he lays it up and in. Dominic Kieferl has been everywhere here tonight. Gets the offensive board and the easy lay on the other end. 46-43. Bishop Luers still leading. 5:30 left to go. Carmani Davis works around the screen. Puts up a three. It's short. Jaden Moore the offensive board. Second chance is no good. You hear the clap of the hands. Frustrated as he thought he had the open shot. Middleton now here to Kieferl. Back over to Middleton. Carroll trying to work their way in here. Another close game late. Fisher drives on the baseline. A lot of contact there with Daniel Murphy, but he puts it up off the glass. That was really a no-look shot for Fisher, who's now got 15 points on the evening. It's 17 on Tuesday against Norwell. Kamani Davis driving in. Good feed to Taylor. Worked around Fisher. Had an open shot, but he missed it. Ball goes rolling near the baseline. Poked out of bounds. And it goes off the leg of Ale Taylor. Heck of an effort there by Miles Herring, who threw it off the leg. And Seth Cuffing is going to take a timeout himself. Close one. Final 5 minutes of this game. It's the Parkview Sports Medicine Game of the Week. 47-46. Carroll in the lead on 13 to the Fan and 100.9 FM. 47-46. 4:40 left to go in this one. Carroll in front, but they nearly gave the basketball away. Carter Middleton just crossed half court. A little bit of contact with Zen Safersky. He's grabbing at his nose at the moment. Safersky conversing with him as the inbound comes in from the near side, right in front of the bench of Carroll. Middleton breaks it past the half-court line once again. They lead by 1. Middleton nearly lost it. Van Order down low, now inside to Fisher. Fisher double team just outside the extended block. Down to the top of the key, Middleton over to Herring. Down low to Kieferl. He's been big here in this fourth quarter. Bodying up double team. Over the far side, Fisher. Fisher's thought about a three, drives into the baseline, nearly stepped out of bounds. Gets it back over to Middleton, driving in, floats it up, and it's no good. Off the backside of the rim, and Luers brings it back up, trailing 47-46. 4 minutes and change left to go in this one. Ale Taylor, double team down low. Driving in is the big man basketball player, and he works up, shot, no good. Javen's trying to bring it back down. Let some contact and a foul. Looks like Kieferl had a tough time on that one. Grabbing at his nose. Looks like he'll be okay. One quick change. Well, Lambert will check in. Or Middleton, who's already a little bit of contact in the last couple of minutes, will check out. These two teams, all these players grabbing to their hips right now. It's been a sprint here in this one. Back and forth, these two teams have gone in transition, trying to labor out one final set of 4 minutes on this regular season. Lambert near side, works around the screen, has the open three. It's too much. The air ball goes in the hands of Nate Javens. Now Zen Safersky. He pulls up with the right wing. That one up the front iron, then over the top of the basket, and bangs off the top of it. And that'll be the end of the possession. These two teams laboring. slowly working back and forth, trying to give as much extra effort as they can in these final couple of minutes. 3 minutes and 30 seconds left to go. 47-46 Carroll. Far side, here's Lambert. Doesn't want the three. Possibly a slower possession here. Kieferl driving in, double teamed, and he gets some contact right near the low block. And they'll put the foul on number 12 in Daniel Murphy. Senior guard. He gets his third of the evening. Herring tries the inbound, nearly threw it away. Bounces off of Kieferl's hands back into Herring, who quickly dishes it over the top to Van Order. Bishop Luers back to man after a couple possessions working in zone. Fisher working on Taylor at the low block. Fisher again, top of the key. Straight away, Van Order a three. He's got it. Jack Van Order straight away for the triple. And he gives Carroll a 4-point lead. 9 points nearing triple digits for the main man from beyond the arc. Safersky on the other end. Now loaded Javens at the right block. Off the glass, no good. And another missed opportunity for the Knights. 2:30 left to go in this one. 50-46, Carroll in front. They work again from right to left. Kieferl drives in. Bounce pass over the far corner. Cole Lambert. Step back three after a good move. And it's too strong again. Lambert's had some open chances. Unable to convert here in the second half. In transition. Good feed by Safersky. But Taylor is stuffed by the rim. And it's poked out of bounds, they'll say, off of Carroll. Taylor has had loads of open chances underneath the basket. Unable to finish this time. He gets the inbounds pass just outside the extended block. Carmani Davis works around the screen. Step back jumper inside the three-point line. And it goes off the side of the baskets. Bishop Luers unable to work quickly in transition. Wide open for three is Lambert. And again, he misses. Nobody within 5 feet from him at the left corner. And Lambert can't connect. Now Safersky nearly lost it. Picks it back up but can't move his feet. Top of the key. It's for Daniel Murphy. And quickly, Seth Copping is going to take a timeout. We had one timeout in the first 3 quarters of this one, only a 30-second one. And these two teams looking to make sure they round out this season in good fashion. 50-46, Carroll in front, 1:43 left to go. The Parkview Sports Medicine Game of the Week on 13 to the Fan and 100.9 FM. Carroll 50, Bishop Luers 46. Parkview Sports Medicine Game of the Week. Rounding down here in this fourth quarter. 1:43 left to go. Knights in possession, working from left to right. And Safersky gets it on his own side of the timeline. We'll quickly move it past the half-court line. The point guard for the Knights. Just over 90 seconds left to go. Safersky down low. Now here to Taylor, working on Fisher. In the matchup of the day, Taylor, tough time on Fisher. Throws it off the glass and in. A wild shot somehow hits the square, goes straight into the netting, and the contact there from Fisher. That'll be his 4th foul, and Taylor has a chance to make this a 1-point game. What a tough bucket there from A.L. Taylor. Great defense by Fisher, and Taylor just bodied his way through, threw it off the glass and in. At the charity stripe, he missed it, but then Safersky able to get the rebound. Back over to Taylor, working down low. He floats it up and in. We're back tied here at Carroll High School. 50 apiece with 1:18 left to go. Wow, Bishop Luers looked labored and tired and dead to rights these last couple of minutes, and now they've tied it back up at 50 apiece. 65 seconds left to go. Kieferl driving in around the right angle, puts it up and in, and on the adjustment coming back down, goes straight into the face of Nate Javens. Kieferl drove in, worked around a screen, laid it off the right glass, and looking to get back defensively in transition, sprinted back into the chest of Nate Javens, who went straight to the floor and is grabbing at his face currently. That is tough. Carroll able to take the lead with 1 minute and 1 second left. And gladly Javens is looking to try to get back up onto his feet here. He is frustrated. Still talking with the referee right now. Felt he deserved a larger foul there. And no official foul has been called. There's a referee talking at the table at the moment. And Javen's able to get back up onto his feet, limping a slight bit. Kiefer goes up towards him. I highly doubt there was any even inkling of intention there. Kiefer just a larger body trying to quickly get back in defensive transition after making the bucket. Didn't see where he was going and went straight into Javens, who's going to head back towards the locker room. So in for him comes Jaden Moore. 52-50 Carroll, 53 seconds left to go. Top of the key, Kermani Davis. Couple big threes in the first half. Has been quiet since then. Drives in, stops his feet. High floater off the left iron. Off the glass and no good. And Fisher brings it back down into the breadbasket. He is fouled. And neither team quite yet into the bonus. So Carroll a chance to possibly run this one all the way out if they can evade a couple of nights. Inbound, far side, Van Order nearly lost it, picks it back up. Far outlet pass, there's Fisher wide open, and he lays it up, no good. He had an easy layup, he missed it, but Kiefer comes down with the offensive board. Dominic Kiefer doing everything tonight for Carroll, and man, what a missed chance on both ends. Fisher just absolutely bunnied it, and then after missing it, missed the rebound. And two Knights had it for a moment, but coming in and charging with the basketball was Kiefer, and he forced another foul. Inbound pass comes into Lincoln Powell, who was quickly whacked by Daniel Murphy. Oh, that'll finally send the Chargers to the line. Fifth foul this fourth quarter for the Knights. 52-50. Carroll trying to make it 5 in a row and 7 of their last 8 to round out this season. 25.8 seconds left in this one. First shot, up and good. Wasn't easy. It hit each side of the iron, rang through. And here's for a two-possession game. Powell at the line shooting 76%. And he goes 2 for 2 here at the stripe. 54-50. Carroll in front. Rolling the basketball. Safersky picks it up with 24 seconds left to go. Safersky drives in on Powell. Back over to Kermani Davis. Puts up a 3. He got fouled. Powell trying to work off the screen. Got into the hip of Kermani Davis. And he's going to have 3 shots at the line. You always wonder late in this one, do you foul up 4? Sometimes do you foul up 3? Too much time, I think, on the clock here as Davis makes the first one look easy. Straight through. And you'd rather have nobody else at the line. This man right here. 87% from the charity stripe this season. Better than anybody else on this roster. Second shot. Make it 2 for 2. Coughing is going to take a timeout. Draw things up. And see, is the question here, would you rather try to purposely miss it, get an offensive board, and get it back out down 2? 54-52, 19.2 seconds left to go. Going into this week, talking to Seth Coughing, he talked so much about games like this. This team, again, lost 6 seniors last season, 3 of their top leading scorers, and a lot of the roles were question marks. Who can fit into the new roles? Who can be a leader? Who can step up for this group? And the grittiness of this team in the final 2 months has them looking at a real shot to make some noise in the 2A state tournament coming up this next week. They started out 1-5 on this season, and verbatim from head coach Seth Coughing had a quote-unquote come to Jesus moment in late December towards what's the next step here? How are we going to get things figured out? And ever since then, every single practice, this group has been locked in, has set themselves up for success, and set themselves up to be in games like this. Didn't feel this group at times could do it early in the season, but they have found their way to be close and in games like this all throughout the year. 19.2 seconds left to go. 54-52. Kermani Davis at the line. His third shot is up and good. And it's a 1-possession game. Knights are going to pressure in the backcourt. Herring inbounds to Van Orden. Double team in the far corner. Nearly trapped. Back over to Fisher. Trying to get past the timeline. Back over to Van Orden. Now to Lincoln Powell. Barely gets it past before the clock. And now a foul called. Quickly, Daniel Murphy as well as Jaden Taylor got to him. Bishop Luers fans were not happy with it. They thought they should have had a jump ball, which would have been their possession. A very, very quick whistle. And Powell will head to the stripe with 10.8 left to go. And you can hear it. Bishop Luers contingent not happy with not allowing that to play out. Seemed like Taylor at least had one hand on the basketball there. Powell's first shot. Up and good. 55-53. 10.8 left to go. What a way to round out this Parkview Sports Medicine game of the week. Powell going to make it a 3-point game. And he will. Front iron, back iron, right iron, and through. And with 10.8 seconds left to go, another timeout called by Chris Benedict. 56-53. Carroll in front with just over 10 seconds left to go in this one. We will see what Bishop Luers will draw up with this timeout. And Luers under head coach Seth Coffing, of course, he's the husband of Purdue Fort Wayne women's basketball coach, and Maria Marquesado. And they're nearing tournament time here in a couple of weeks. We'll see what the women's group can do after getting all the way near the end of the NIT last season. Good stint in the back half of the Horizon League. We'll see what they can do. Coffing, again, already showcased a basketball family that he's been a part of, and hoping that this Luers team can make some noise in the 2A tournament. Last season lost in regionals, and very well could see this group get there again. They've got a full week's worth of practice before their matchup next Friday against either Whitcoe or Adams Central. Would love to get a massive 4A win and stun Carroll on their senior night. 10.8 seconds left to go. Inbounding it here on the near side will be Daniel Murphy, working from left to right. Sen Safersky gets it in. They need three. 56-53, Carroll in front. Safersky brings it forward. Carmani Davis now double team. Back over to Safersky in the corner. 3 seconds left to go. Back to Davis. Puts up a three. A whistle called. And it looks like Seth Coffing took a timeout before Davis put up that three. Wow. Luers takes their final timeout with 2.2 seconds left to go, and Coffing barely got it off before Davis put up an absolute prayer. So one more time to set something up, down by three with maybe a dribble or two to work with. What a game this has been. Bishop Luers, 3 players in double figures tonight. Jaden Taylor with 15, a big and one in the final minutes of this one. Zen Safersky, 17 points tonight. He's just one shot away from tying his career high. And Carmani Davis, a couple of early threes. The team's leading scorer this year with 12 on the evening. On the floor for Carroll, Fisher, Powell, Herring, Kieferl, as well as Van Orden. On the other end, for Bishop Luers, they've got Tavon Stidhams, Zen Safersky, Carmani Davis, as well as it looks like Daniel Murphy. And now a timeout on the other end. The Carroll Chargers will take a timeout. They've still got 2 in their pocket, but they're not going to need it. Looks like, if anything, Chris Benedict either 1, didn't like what he saw, or 2, just wants to maybe ice or make Seth Coffing and these Bishop Luers Knights think a little bit longer about this final play. What an ending to this one. Thank you so much for tuning in here tonight. It has been fun. Make sure to stay tuned right after this. We've got the Parkview Sports Medicine post-game show live out at Pizza Hut. Eric Dutjukevich as well as Adam Lundy are going to get you covered. Look at all the action around the state of Indiana and here in Fort Wayne. And the final day of high school boys regular season basketball. Loads of senior nights all around the states. One right here at Carroll. 56-53, the Chargers lead on the Knights with 2.2 seconds left to go. One final shot and a final chance for the Knights to round out their regular season. Daniel Murphy's going to inbound it. Who can he get it off to? Trying to find somebody. Dunks it down low. Tavon Stidhams puts up a three. It's too strong. And Carroll survives. Once again, the Chargers able to do the job. Their second win within one possession in the last 3 nights. And Carroll moves on to 14-9 on the season. 6th straight win, 7th in their last 8, and Carroll is headed into sectionals with a hot streak. Exactly what you'd want if you're Chris Benedict's. 56-53, the final score. Carroll came down late and able to hold on for the win. Looking overall at the stats tonight, another big day. Brody Fisher, the only man in double figures for the Carroll Chargers, put up 15 points, but was also in foul trouble. 4 fouls late into that fourth quarter. The Chargers able to hold on with some big help by Jack Van Orm and Monzer Omar. So the final 5 seniors and their final game here at Carroll High School able to hold on for a 3-point win. How about a career? Monzer Omar, Miles Herring, Dominic Kiefer, Brody Fisher, as well as Cole Lambert. Got to shout out the 5 guys for Carroll on their senior night. Bishop with the loss. They lose back-to-back to round out this regular season and end the regular season at 12-11. They'll take on the winner of Whitcoe and Adams Central out at the Bluffton Sectional next Friday night in the nightcap. Carroll on the other end, they'll take on Fort Wayne Snyder next Friday at Northrop. How about this one? Great one here at Carroll High School. 56-53, the Chargers. Game of the week on 13 of the fans and 100.9 FM.
Podcasts by Federated Media.